right, so Della's very popular because she gets a lot of phone calls. We're not going to start over this time. We'll just pick up where we were. One of the things about Della's book that I particularly love is that there's a whole chapter in there about figs and about cooking figs. So will you tell us about when you started cooking figs?
I was in my early teens when I started cooking figs, and of course my mom was cooking them too, and I guess I got the urge from her and my grandmother to get involved with the food preserves.
Right, and it says in your book that your mother made a fig cake that's different from the kind of fig cake we think of now.
Yeah.
How did she make a fig cake?
She made a fig cake, and she would ice it after she made it, and it was delicious.
And wasn't it just a yellow cake kind of with fig layers?
Yeah.
So they would make a yellow cake and then put layers of fig preserves
Right.
in the layers and then ice it.
Right, and then ice it with whatever chocolate icing or
Oh, yum.
white icing, whichever that we wanted.
But then the legend says that Margaret Garish invented the fig cake the way it is now, but you also baked them, and you won our fig cake bake-off the first 2 years that we had it.
Yeah.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And when did you start making cakes like that? And like selling them and stuff? Because you sold your cakes all over the world, didn't you? Or all over the country anyway.
Yeah. I've shipped them all over. And it's a lot of work into it when you're making them and then shipping them. And but people want some, and I got a letter last week from a lady that I had been sending figs to, but she wanted me to send her some, but I can't get to my figs. That Monroe and Owen put my stuff in my shop so far back in the very back part of my shop.
Right.
And nobody can get back there to get them.
Right, because Della's house, we're not actually in Della's house. We're in a house across the street where she's been staying since Dorian. Her house flooded, and so, like you said, all your fig supplies, all your jars and everything are way back in storage, waiting for you to get back in your house. Yeah, so Della hadn't been putting up figs this year, and Monroe, who's Della's son, also told me that your fig tree hasn't produced that much this year.
No, they've not. He said they hadn't. I haven't even been over home since the storm.
Right.
I just didn't have the heart.
I understand. How long? And where did you stay before you were able to move in here? Because I know this place flooded too. Where did you stay?
This was flooded bad.
Yeah.
Well, I moved 6 times.
Oh my goodness.
From the time that I left my house and I got in here. I moved 6 times. I stayed, the first place I stayed was the man had that, well, his house was high, and he's the one that was very sick. Him and 16 other men was in the service, and they were in some kind of airplanes. I don't know what they were, but anyway, all 16 of them had strokes.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm not sure who you're talking about, but somebody who was in the service and his house was up high, so you were able to stay there.
Yeah. And he let us stay there a couple weeks in the beginning, and then after that, they came to check on the house and all their stuff there around the house, and then they went back, and they let us go back there and stay 5 weeks.
Okay.
And so we stayed there 5 weeks. We went to the girl that retired from teaching. She had her mama.
Gail Hamilton?
Uh,
No? Okay. Girl that retired from teaching.
her mama had a
Susan
cottage-
O'Neill?
Huh?
Was it Susan? Oh, okay. I'm just trying to guess who retired, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Her mama had a house, and that's the one we stayed in
Okay.
several weeks, and then her mama was coming, and I wanted to meet her because she had wrote a book, and she was in her 90s, and she went all around the world.
Oh, Kitty Mitchell. That's whose house you were. Her mom,
Yeah.
Sally Martin. Yes.
Yeah, she
rode a bike.
She went all around the world on a bicycle,
That's right, she did.
and it was a great book. I read every word of it.
Yes. What's it
And
called? I think it's called Ride, Sally, Ride.
Right.
Like, yeah, like the song.
I wanted to meet her because she told me that her mom was coming, and after things got straight, she was coming to the island, but she died
Yeah,
after
she
she
did.
went back.
She didn't come
So
back.
I didn't get a chance to meet her, and I wanted to tell her how much I enjoyed her book because it was nothing I had ever read. I mean, they went all different places
Yeah.
across, and it was awesome what they did. She was with a group from time to time, and it was good. It was good reading. I enjoyed it.
Well, that's good to know. Well, we also need to talk about your book, A Blessed Life, which takes place almost all on Ocracoke, right?
Right.
Because you grew up here, and you talk about your old home place. Where was your old home place?
My old home place was right over there. Yeah, Monroe's got it now. Of course, he redid the house, and it don't look nothing like it did when I grew up in there.
Okay.
And
But is it the same? He didn't tear it down?
no,
Oh, he just remodeled?
no, but he raised it.
Mm-hmm.
Raised it up and got somebody to go there and do the carpenter's work on it, and he's got a beautiful place over there, but he's staying here in this cottage with me until if I can get my house
Right.
back in order and get over there, then they want me to raise it, so I reckon my house was high anyway.
Yeah, because it had never flooded before.
No.
I read that in your book.
It never was only the highest the water ever got was on the second step.
Yeah, right.
As many years as I had been living there.
Yeah, what year did you and Owen build that house?
Yeah.
What year? Do you remember?
It was, I don't remember what
It's
year.
probably in the book. In the 60s, maybe?
It was probably in the 60s.
Right. For our listeners, our watchers who might remember back in the 90s, Owen had a veggie stand out in front of your house called Owen's Veggies.
Yes.
And one of the most popular items, of course, to purchase from Owen's Veggies was Della's preserves.
Yeah.
Fig preserves, fig syrup. You also did your pepper vinegar. What else did you make? You made a lot of things back then.
I had pumpkin butter, and that's what I want to get some made of too. Is pumpkin butter, because people love that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And I love it too. It's delicious.
And oh, you also used to sell. I remember back at your shop, you would sell the fish emulsion that for the garden. Della has such a green thumb. Her garden would always just make me so jealous. Did you grow the pumpkins you used in your pumpkin butter?
Sometimes I get a chance to grow some, but I use whatever it is. Sometimes different ones would give me pumpkins, and I'd fix them, and I just love to preserve. I just hope I can get back in my house and start all over again, hopefully.
And Monroe helps you, right?
Well, he always picked the figs for me,
Okay.
and that helped me, because he could climb. I couldn't climb.
Right.
And
you have a big fig tree next to your house over there.
yeah, I have several over there in my yard, but I haven't been over there to see them. But Monroe said that they weren't doing that good, and it could have been the salt water. That
Some of the trees are producing like crazy, and some aren't. My tree, part of it is producing, and then part of it isn't. So I think that some of the trees they were traumatized, just like the people.
right.
It was hard. It was hard times.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the worst storm that I have ever seen, and none of my parents had ever seen.
Can you remember the storm of 44?
Yes, I do. I was only about 5 years old, and we were staying over here in this house of my uncle's, and
Charlie Williams' house?
and we left our house over there because the house then was closer to the water than what it is now, and it was low on the ground too, and the Daddy wanted Monroe to have the house. I wanted the house, but he wanted him to have it, so he gave it to him,
And it was right next to your sister Elizabeth's house.
yeah.
Yeah, some of our watchers might remember Roy and Elizabeth Parsons.
Yeah.
Roy played music in the Ocracoke Opry, and Elizabeth had her gift shop there, Pamlico Gifts. And you had your gift shop behind your house called Wokacon Gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Della sold a lot of crafts that you made. A lot of Christmas ornaments. I have Christmas ornaments on my tree every year that you made, Della.
Oh, thank you. I'm still, I crochet a lot, and
I'm just gonna show that we do have a Christmas tree. The Williams sisters, Elizabeth and Della, have a Christmas tree up year round, don't you?
yeah. My sister, all the things that she did a lot of shell work.
Yes, I have a wreath that she did made out of shells.
And she made different jars, and it was beautiful work that she did. I don't know how she did it without burning her fingers with that
With the hot glue.
glue gun.
Yeah. And she painted too. She was a wonderful artist.
She picked up painting, and something that none of them in the family did, and she just picked it up herself and went with it, and it became a good outlet for her in her shop, and
It was, for sure.
I got her to do some paintings for me, and I paid her for them for the church and the schoolhouse,
Mm-hmm.
the other schoolhouse.
The old schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one that I went to school, and I thought that was the most beautiful building. And I was so sick when they tore that down.
Well, you know, they plan to tear down what's there now and build something new that's going to look like the old schoolhouse. Do you know that?
Huh?
So because of the flooding, because of Dorian, they're going to tear down what's there at the school now, and they're going to rebuild a new part of the school that will look like the old school that you went to.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that would be great.
Yeah, I've seen the plans for it. So the front of it will look very much like it did back then, because that was a really pretty school.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a school song, The Little White School on the Sands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful school. It had huge windows from the top of just a little bit of space up top, and they came all the way down.
Nice.
But they could have changed that. They wouldn't have had the total the whole building down, you know. And they said when they got into it and was tearing it down, that there weren't a bit of the lumber in that school that was rotted or any bugs in it or anything. They said
Wow.
it was perfect.
Oh my goodness.
They lost a good building.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm sorry. So let's talk a little bit more about figs. What's your favorite kind of fig? What figs do you grow? What's your trees?
Well, I like figs. I like raw figs.
Right.
Eat them off the tree.
Right. What
And
kind do you grow? Do you grow sugar figs, brown turkeys?
Sugar
Okay.
figs mostly, and the brine. I got some brine turkeys too.
Do you have a pound fig tree?
No.
Okay, because Chester says that's like the oldest one that they had on the island was the
Yeah.
pound fig.
Yeah. I never was crazy about the pine figs.
Okay.
They were purple, and I don't know, they didn't have a sweet taste.
Right. The sugar figs are really sweet.
They are much better. But I hope mine will come out after this storm. And I thought of freezing some until I can get back in my house. And 'cause
Right.
I don't have any running water over my house. I don't have any power.
Right.
And because they took all the meters off
Right.
the house, so we didn't have any power over there. And
Were you in your house during Dorian? Were you there? Were you home?
yeah, I was in the bed.
Oh my goodness, did you get rescued?
No, I was asleep,
Oh my goodness.
and if it had kept coming up, I probably would have got drowned.
Oh my, right in your bed.
Yeah, but after I needed to go to the bathroom, and I put my feet over the mattress, and when I did, my heart fell.
Oh, I bet.
There was water water. I said, "Oh Lord, no! Don't tell me that water has come up in my house." And but it didn't take long for it to go down. It went down as fast as it come up.
So how many inches did it come in your house?
Oh gracious! It was a lot.
Did you just stay in the bed then?
Yeah, I slept in that bed for several nights after the storm,
Oh my goodness!
and my hair even smelled like that water.
Oh yeah, everything smelled like that. Well, the whole island smelled like that water.
It was awful,
Yeah.
and I was afraid. I didn't know what the world I was going to do, but we. I tried to think of the stuff that I would need, but I didn't get all the stuff that
I
I
know.
wanted to salvage. And,
How many Christmas trees did you have set up in there? In your living room? Didn't you have a bunch of Christmas trees?
I had some, but I don't know what came with them.
Yeah, right. I mean, they probably had to throw them away, I imagine.
I imagine so.
Well, when you move back in, we'll all have to get you some Christmas trees. Get it
Yeah.
decorated up again.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like any figs brought to you from other people, or are they not as good as yours?
Well, it's depending on what kind of figs they are.
Right. I have blue figs, which are a big purple fig, and they're not as sweet as the sugar figs. But I'll bring you some of mine. You can taste them.
I never had any purple figs.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bring them to you.
Okay.
And have you ever had any fig cake that you like besides yours? Because yours was the winner twice. And then Annie Lou won twice. Yeah, so just wondered.
There was a guy, and I can't think of his name, that he always got figs from me,
Mm-hmm.
and he made a fig cake one year, and he came to see me, and he said to me, he said, "Can you think whose figs I used?" I said, "Well, not really." He said, "I used yours." He said, and I won the contest.
Was that Don Hahn? Because he won one year. Let's see, Mike Douglas, he won one year. I'm trying to think who won. That was a man.
He did a lot of painting.
Painting. Yes, that would be Mike. Yes, he's a painter.
Yeah.
All right, so he used your figs and he
He
won.
came down here and wanted some figs, and Mama can't get anybody
Yeah, that's right.
small enough for to get back there to get them. And this woman that I was telling you about, she wanted some, but I
Oh, so
can't-
you mean all the figs you already have canned from last year, year before, are back in that shed too? Mhm.
Last year. I did,
Yeah, you
them,
did put them up last year.
But
Can't get to them.
I've got a jar in there that I've been eating out of, and I love figs and mix it with peanut butter.
Peanut butter and
It
figs.
is delicious.
Huh, I've never tried that.
It is delicious.
So now we have a new recipe. You like a peanut butter and fig preserve sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good.
I make a sandwich at different times with the fig and the peanut butter, and then I'll just take a cup and put my peanut butter in the cup and my figs, and I chop them up and
Oh, yeah, okay.
just mix them together.
With fresh figs.
And eat it with a spoon, and it is delicious.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad we got that recommendation. I'm gonna have to try that because I love peanut butter.
I do too.
Yeah. Okay. That's great.
It's delicious, I'll tell you.
All right. I'm gonna end our video now because we got enough. It's 25 minutes long. So I just want to say thank you, Della, for letting me talk to you today and for telling me about figs, especially about figs and peanut butter, and about your experiences about the storm. And I hope you get back in your house and can be making us fig preserves next year.
Thank you. I hope so. Thank you for coming down.
Oh, you're welcome.